Dear home, it feels strange to say it, but this is goodbye. We grew up together, in a sense. I learned how to be myself in those 3 years, safely held by your walls. Every time I discovered a new piece of myself, it showed up in this space, in the many frames, in the candlelight, in the hysteric wallpaper, and in the colors that twinkled in the afternoon sunlight. There's a lot of memories whispering in the air. I loved here and lost it. I danced here. I cried here. I read thousands of pages and watched Pride and Prejudice at least 30 times. Through it all, you held me silently and hugged me tightly when I needed it. I won't miss your musty smell, or the mice, or the stifling heat in summer, but I will miss the version of me that I became when I lived here. But all things must come to an end, and now is that time. It's not the end for you. You have seen many faces pass your doorstep in over 100 years, and I'm sure you will see many others for at least 100 more. It's not the end for me either. I will find other spaces to hold me, shelter me, keep me safe. Spaces to grow in and spaces to love in. But here, I will close the door one last time. Thank you for 3 amazing years. I am completely turning my life upside down, leaving my life as I know it behind and starting with a blank slate. I just turned 27, and after almost 10 years of living on my own, I am moving back in with my parents, which feels like an incredibly big thing to say, and it also sort of feels like failure to admit it. I feel like in the society it's sort of not done to do what I'm doing right now. Like, you're supposed to graduate, start working, save up, get your first house, and sort of start building from there. And I tried it and it feels like I failed, but I'm trying to look at myself with kindness and see this for what it actually is, which is an opportunity. But that's why I also really wanted to make this video, because first of all, I think it's maybe relatable to some people out there, like people that are struggling with the same things as me. But also it just felt like such a heavy weight on my shoulders for the past few weeks that I've sort of been planning this but not sharing it online, because my apartment is such an integral part of the content I share online. Like, I think most people follow me because of the aesthetic I put out in the world, which is completely understandable. But that made me very scared that the moment I would lose my apartment, people wouldn't want to watch what I make anymore, which I don't think is necessarily true. I can always make content anywhere, probably. I also realized it's kind of ridiculous to keep this apartment just to make content. That would just make it a very expensive art studio. And another reason why I wanted to share this is also because I feel like a lot of people look up to me in the sense that they think I'm living the dream life, which is a big problem with content creators in general. They only share such a small part of their lives online, and people make all kinds of assumptions from that. And sure, my life is great in a lot of ways, but I've also really heavily been struggling. So whenever I get a comment like, I want to be like you when I grow up, or like, you're living my dream life, I sort of feel like I'm betraying them, because I feel like I'm not being honest about what's going on behind the scenes, and it's nothing dramatic or anything, but I just feel like it's good to share every now and then that there's a story behind all the beautiful pictures you see online, and that goes for every content creator. So I just wanted to make this video mostly for myself, but maybe it's helpful or relatable for people. So yeah, let's get into the reason why I'm moving back in with my parents at the age of 27. Also, before I continue, doesn't this remind you of that Charlotte quote in Pride and Prejudice where she's like, I'm 27 years old, I have no money and no prospects, and I'm already a burden to my parents, and I'm frightened. That quote is so scarily accurate for me right now, and I'm frightened too. But I hope I will not have to marry an ugly and annoying man to get my life back in order, so let's pray for that. I'm not even sure where to begin explaining how this all came about, but I think I should go all the way back, and that is my childhood, Basically, I've always known I wanted to be a creative. And I know that's sort of like a random word, like it doesn't mean anything to be a creative, that's not a job. But I knew I wanted to do something in the creative field. Basically, I was always busy writing stories, writing poems for my family, making little magazines, doing photo shoots with my friends. So I always sort of knew that was what I wanted to do. But we all know it's not that easy to make a living as a creative. On top of that, I don't really thrive in a business environment. Like it's like I can do it for a while, but it always costs me energy instead of giving me energy. So after a while, I just get sort of burned out. I don't do well sitting in an office for 8 hours a day, sitting behind my laptop and not doing anything outside of that. I need a lot of creative time, like experimentation and stuff, to recharge and sort of refuel my soul doing what it wants to do. And if I don't get enough of that time, I get burned out. And that is exactly what happened this year to the extreme. Like usually I can sort of feel the signals coming on time so I can sort of make changes in my life. But this time I did not do that on time because I liked the company I worked at so much. I liked the people I worked with so much. So I sort of just kept going. But I could feel my energy draining further away, and I had so much responsibility at this job that it started giving me a lot of anxiety. So I just felt like I was on a train, stuck in there, it kept going and I couldn't get off. And that led to me eventually having panic attacks and just not being able to work anymore. I just was so unmotivated. I had to have crying breaks on the toilet in between to sort of keep going another few hours. It was really not good. And this partly came about like all the reasons I just told you, but also because I didn't have enough time to pursue my own dreams, which is being financially independent while pursuing my creative endeavors. And I think I was sort of disappointed because last year my socials just blew up. I started the year with 2,000 followers and ended it with like 100,000, which is absolutely insane. But I think that was the moment where I was like, wait, this is what I've been waiting for. This is where I'm gonna make my dreams come true. I'm gonna like make this a source of income and I can just be independent and not work for a boss and pursue all my dreams, travel, all that stuff. But that didn't really happen, which makes sense because all my creative energy was already being drained by my job. So I had so little to give outside of that. So I never actually came to the tipping point where I was like, okay, I can actually live off the income I make from my social media now. So that sort of got me really frustrated and got me really down. I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to do this, but then the alternative is me working a 9-to-5 job. I got into my head about it and I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. I just don't know. Like, I don't know what my path is. I thought I knew what I wanted, but is that what I wanted? Is it what I need? Clearly, I'm not feeling good right now, so something needs to change. All that got into my head. And I sort of got to that point last year already too, which was a sign that something was about to go down. So I talked to my parents back then and I told them like, I just feel like I'm stuck because I know what I want, but I can't get there without devoting proper time to it. But I can't devote my time to it because I have to work in a job, because I have to pay the rent for my apartment. So we kind of got to the point where we're like, maybe the apartment is the problem then, because you feel forced to pay your rent, so you feel forced to work, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you should give up your apartment and come living back with us. That's what my parents said. But I was seriously considering it, but I just couldn't do it because it would feel like such failure to me. And I love my apartment, so I didn't want to leave it. So that was such a hard decision to make for me. And I just kept making the decision off. But now the decision got made for me because I got so burned out that my boss was like, stop working. Like, if you're having panic attacks at the office, I don't want you here. Like, for your own good, for your health, you need to stop working right away. And that felt so weird for me. It kind of felt like I was being fired. But I think in the end, it was the right call. Like, I think this was just fate interfering, like sort of steering towards the path I need to go. But yeah, that just meant I had no job, no source of income, and therefore I also couldn't afford my rent. So the natural outcome was me going back towards my parents, which means I have to leave this apartment, which feels very sad. But it also feels so exciting to have this blank slate and an opportunity to start all over again. And I'm so incredibly grateful to my parents that they are letting me do this and that they are supporting me to make my dreams come true in this way. Because I know I am incredibly privileged that I have parents that are willing to help me in this way and that they have the space in their home to, you know, take me back in. I am so privileged that, yeah, I can do that, and I am aware of that, and I'm extremely grateful. But that doesn't mean it's not very scary to do so and that it's not hard, because I am giving up a lot of my independence, and it sort of feels like I'm 16 again in a way, just living with my parents, having to explain where I'm going to them, you know. Obviously there's no like rules and stuff anymore, but you are sort of living in one house, so you have to redefine your relationship with your parents. It's going to be interesting as well. But I just feel like right now it is the right thing. It will open up so much room for me to discover who I am, reconnect with myself, and most importantly, pursue my dreams. I want to write, I want to create, I want to travel, I want to focus on my social media and make even more amazing content that doesn't feel like half-assed because I didn't have the proper energy for it. I am so excited about all of that, and I think it was just meant to happen this way. But yeah, it does mean losing my apartment, and that does mean my apartment won't be my content anymore, which I was just very nervous about, if I'm honest. But I'm already decorating my room at my parents' house, and it's turning out so cute. I will insert a little clip or photo here. It's turning out so cute, and I am very confident I can make cute content there too, so I'm not worrying about that anymore. It's just weird to give up like a place that I've come to love and a place that I've, you know, grown in so much, and just a place that is this cute, because the housing market is not great right now and I may never get a house this cute again. But that's all in the future, and right now I'm trying to really sort of look what I have to do right now, which is rest, recover, focus on myself, recharging my creative energy, and just create again, which I feel like I'm just meant to do. I always felt so strange explaining this to my parents or my family, because they really are sort of brought up with the idea like you have to follow these steps in order to be successful in life, and like, why can't you work a 9-to-5 job like everyone is? Like, are you lazy or something? That was sort of like, it's not that they would say that to me, but I feel like that's sort of how they are programmed, and that's how I am programmed too. So this feels like sort of a weird step to take for me, but also I just so strongly feel in my soul what I am meant to do and where I want to be in life. And I feel like I need to give myself a fair chance to figure it out. If it doesn't work out, that's fine, but at least I tried. I don't want to, you know, keep working and keep struggling for the rest of my life, always thinking like, what if? What if I could have been a writer if I had taken that step, you know? I want to give myself the chance to figure it all out, and right now is the time. I have no relationship, I have no responsibilities, no ties to anything or anyone, and I can just do it, and that feels... I'm so excited. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm getting more and more excited. So yeah, if anyone else is struggling with this, like, I feel like a lot of creative people are going through stuff like this, because it's so hard to, you know, be true to yourself when society demands so much of you, and I feel like a lot of people are struggling with that currently. You don't have to follow the rules that society places on you. Like, it feels weird that I am without a job right now, without income, and soon also without a house, but I'm also getting so many amazing things back for it, and you know, I can always just build back up again. It doesn't have to be the end of something. Like, if it doesn't work out, I'll find something new to focus on. And I just have decided to fully trust in that. So, scary, but good. That's the conclusion of this adventure, I guess. If you have any questions about it, please let me know in the comments. I would be happy to talk about it more. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video, for which I will actually have all the time in the world now, so that's great. See you soon. Bye!